Well, thanks for taking the time, man. Great to get to chat with you, get to meet you. Where am I catching you from,
Yeah.
man?
Birmingham, England.
Okay. All right. So how are things over there right now, with the crazy world situation? I've heard it's better
Uh,
in England right now, but you tell me, you're over there.
well, to be fair, we're not using masks to go in any shops anymore. We're not social distancing. Literally, it's
Yeah.
normal life.
Right.
It's normal life. And to be fair, when you're not sort of living thinking about it, you forget about it.
Right.
And it's sort of like in the background now, to be fair.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, that's nice, right? To be a little bit normal again, I'm sure.
Yeah. What's it like over there?
Yeah, so it's on my side of things. I'm over on the West Coast in America, Washington State area, so above California a little bit. It's a little bit strict here still. Got to do it, but it is what it is, right? Can't really, nothing I can do. Just
Yeah.
got to abide.
Bigger country as well, though, isn't it? It's not like you're a small, like England's quite a small country. It's small, so things get sort of kept in line quicker, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Things get sorted easier. With obviously your country, it's a lot different, isn't it?
Right, right, and a lot of people going to and from as well. So it's
Yeah.
just hope it gets fully gone soon because I'm done with it. Ready to get
I
back
know.
fully, but.
It's doing my head in, to be fair. I'm just gonna get a white screen on my TV so you can see more of me because my lighting's absolutely terrible here.
Look at you, man. Professional over here.
I know, yeah, I'm doing it too much now. I'm getting too used to it. So I've got my own recording studio unofficially.
Yeah.
Officially.
That's great.
24 hours of pure white screen on YouTube.
That's hilarious. So that's
There
even
we
a
go.
thing. Perfect. Look at that.
Yeah.
Got it going on. Do you like
Classic.
do you like doing the media stuff? You're obviously doing more of it now.
I do, yeah. I think that's why I got into the sports, to be fair.
Yeah.
I think, you know what, I was no good at doing anything else other than fighting. So it was like, right, if I want to be famous and get my face on the media a bit, I'm going to have to get into fighting properly. So that's why I've done it.
Right, right. And are you fighting full time now? Because I know that you weren't for a little bit, right? It was kind of like, of course, you got to stay afloat and can't do it all the time. Maybe have another job.
If I left and went MMA and I reckon that I got a good contract with Bellator or UFC or something like that, then it'd be affordable. But right now, it's not affordable to be fighting full time. That means I'd need full time sponsors to help me for a living. So I've got a good job actually. I'm a surveyor by trade, so I'm a quantity surveyor and stuff. So I've been uni and I'm actually educated to that degree.
Okay.
And I've got a good job anyway. Literally, pocket money the fighting is and legacy for me.
All right. All right, that's cool, man. So you've been doing that for a while then?
Yeah.
All right.
Been doing that for about 3 years now. So.
All right, cool, man. Yeah, good to have fallbacks always. Not that the fighting thing won't work out for you because you're quite good at that. Yeah. But I'm sure you get asked this all the time. But so why bare knuckle? Over just boxing and kind of like how you got into it specifically. I know you had plenty of amateur experience, right? But was something entice you a little bit more about no gloves?
I think, to be honest, I don't know. I remember I sort of finished my boxing in the amateurs and I retired and I was a bit like, no, I don't want to do this. And then this prize fighter, Bare-Knuckle, came up and my friend had already fought in it. And I was a bit like, I fancy that. Have a go. And everyone's like, oh, that's brutal. Like, why are you going to do that for? You're going to ruin your looks. And I'm like, wow, I'm just going to have a go, you know what I mean? And I think I just took to it. And it's hard for people to understand that. It's like, you can't, I know glove boxers that can't take to bare knuckle. They've tried it and they're just not very good at it. So it's a completely different sport. Obviously, the distance, the timing, the rule set is completely different. So I done it, I gelled to it and I got good at it. And I thought, well, it's either I go into gloved boxing professional and I sort of struggle at a lower level, or I go into bare knuckle and I go high really fast. It's like a very, very short, quick career in bare knuckle. Like you get 2-3 good big wins on the trot and you're like literally heads in the, you know what I mean? Your head's in the limelight. Mm-hmm. But in boxing, you need 10, 12, 13 wins on a trot to actually start getting recognised in glove boxing. So that's why I think I chose the bare knuckle route, to be fair. And it's sort of an easy route to the top.
Okay.
Well, it's not easy because you're smashing your hands up in the face, but
yeah. Understandable. And I mean, that's always was kind of, fascinating to me is that you got to train with gloves on though, right? So
Yeah,
is that kind of a difficult transition, like every fight to be like, all right, it's maybe not going to land the same as I've been practicing, right? Practice makes perfect for what you're doing, but in this case, it's a little bit different, right?
Yeah. I think, to be fair, for me, I know it's never going to be the same with the gloves. So realistically, we try like new things, new combinations, angles. We work on the footwork, mainly getting out of trouble and being able to get back inside and get in and out without taking too much damage. So that's where the gloves come in handy, because it's, that repetitive work of in and out angles, footwork, being a lot more controlled in there, realizing what I've got to do, thinking about the next shots we're throwing and stuff. So we know the gloves. I mean, I take the gloves off now, to be fair, on the pad work. But obviously, when it comes to sparring, people don't understand. I think people think straight away, they're like, "Oh, I bet you spar bare knuckle. How do you do it?" And I'm like, "You don't spar bare knuckle. If you want to get cuts all over your face, yeah, that's just fighting. You get paid for that, How am I going to do that?"
Yeah, that's funny. It's a crazy dynamic, right? And I'm sure that is it more satisfying to get a knockout with no gloves than with gloves on?
Yeah, it's mental. Like when you throw, it's the connection, like the feel of it, the sound of it. It's like that's big. I mean, I've had some good knockouts now, some good knockdowns and stuff. And like when you catch them and they go, it's like a glimpse. It's like you feel the connection up your arm. It bolts up your arm, and you feel the smack from the skin and the bone, and then you just see the body just disappear in front of your eyes. It just goes, it just goes down so quick. You're like, oh yeah, I've just knocked him down. Madness.
Yeah, no kidding, man. And it's funny because like with bare knuckle boxing, I guess you can equate a little bit to the professional version of street fighting in a way, because no gloves. I don't know. I'm curious. Do a lot of people kind of, if they come to you or to the gym or whatever, and they're just regular dudes, like they want to get into it because like, oh, I've been in street fights before. Is that a thing that happens? Yeah.
You get that all the time. I have people message me asking how to get into it. And then when I'm saying, oh, have you ever had any like combat sport experience, like MMA, boxing? And that? Oh, no, I've just had like street fights. I've never lost.
Never lost, of course. 200 no, bro.
They love that one. I've never lost. You want to see how hard I am? I can bang as well. I'm knocking loads of people out. I'm thinking, yeah, but half the time you're half clattered and pissed outside of a pub and you don't know what you're doing. You're hitting people that are basically not even conscious anyway.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, man. Yeah, I'm sure there's plenty of that. That's hilarious. But it's funny, man, you mentioned MMA a little bit earlier, like if you wanted to get with Bellator or whatever like that, surely there'd be opportunities. I mean, have you considered getting into MMA, or have you trained MMA at all in any facet, whether it's, jiu-jitsu or other avenues? Is that something that maybe down the line?
I am, to be fair, I am considering it. I've done boxing. I've done bare knuckle, and it's like a lot of people are filtering out of MMA and boxing into bare knuckle, and I'm doing the opposite thing. I've sort of started in bare knuckle. I haven't. Right. I've started from a professional level in bare knuckle, and it's like now I could see myself trying to get out there, get a little bit known, and I don't know, maybe fight a decent fighter in the Bellator, the UFC. If that opportunity ever arose, then I'll be straight down into a Renegade in Birmingham, training Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and stand-up, obviously boxing and Thai. Which is obviously, I'm really interested, to be fair. I do watch it, and I'm starting to think more and more like, I fancy doing this at some point. So you never know down the line.
Yeah, exactly. It'll always be there, right? So do you have any inspirations or, favorite fighters, anything like that maybe helped you, whether it was, MMA guys or just boxers in general, that you kind of looked at like, those are my guys?
I think, I mean, boxing-wise, it's weird. I'm a little bit selfish in it. So I only watch my own fights. Like, I watch the big fights when they're on, but I don't study boxers. But the only person I remember as a kid, actually, me watching him, was Joe Calzaghe. And that's what I watched him on OTV4 with my dad. And I watched Tyson Fury from when he started as a young lad. I always knew Tyson was going to go all the way. And that's not just me being a casual. Like, I've said this from the days when everyone used to take the piss out of him and say, oh, he punched himself in the face.
Right.
And I go, yeah. And like now, like, you got to look at him. So, yeah, I reckon inspiration-wise, it's got to be Joe Calzaghe. And I used to absolutely love watching him, I did. Especially what he done, like the fights he had and the people he beat. And not only how it was how he beat him, the work rate and stuff. He was an exciting fighter. So I think that was my most exciting sort of person to watch. And in MMA was probably just McGregor. I think that's just because I know he's very cliche, but he's such a very good all-round fighter, and he brings a lot of entertainment. And I think his earlier fights, against Mendes, Aldo, was it his featherweight fights? His featherweight fights were brilliant. When he went up the weights, you could tell he was struggling with that weight. That wasn't him in there. Like, you know what I mean? I don't think he could cope. And then I think as soon as the money and the hunger left, like the last Poirier fight and stuff, it's just like, for him now, it's just trying to hold on to a legacy that's not there anymore.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. But I guess we'll see what the future holds, when he ultimately comes back, if he does. But you mentioned Tyson right there, so I'm curious if you saw his last fight with Deontay Wilder and what you think of that. Everyone's raving about it.
Yeah, it's brilliant. But the only thing that worried me about Wilder was the fact I didn't know what Malik Scott was going to do. I didn't know if he was going to go back and say, right, you've got to forget boxing him. You've got to go in. You've got to hurt him. Mm-hmm. And in the first round, I remember biting my nails. I was thinking, he's a different fighter now. He's throwing more. He's landing more. No, this is dangerous. And but he's such a big, muscle-bound bloke that as soon as he'd done one round of throwing shots, he couldn't. I don't think he could do much more after that. You could tell he was getting tired. In the second and third, he was blowing. And then obviously Fury's just a super, super fit guy. For an out of shape, flabby, fat guy who's 6 foot, you wouldn't expect him to be the fitness, the physical state he's in. When you're looking at him physically, he looks nothing, but mentally, and he's got an absolute engine, and he's obviously proving now he's got a bit of power, which is like we haven't seen this before. But I'm thinking, is that because he never committed to his punches before? If you look, you're very tippy-tappy with his shots, and now he's actually landing them. So I think, Tyson's a good champion. He adapts to everything what's put in front of him. He probably wouldn't be the same fighter. In fact, I know he wouldn't be. If he fought Joshua, he'd be a different fighter for that fight because he has to change. He's never the same. That's why they always say true champions always adapt to every situation they fight him.
Yeah. And he's definitely that very, very talented individual. And it's just great because, like you said, he doesn't look like he'd be such a badass, but he's just very, very good. Yeah. A great learning experience, all the fights for Deontay Wilder, that he can learn from. But for you, man, I'm curious in your own career, like maybe a hard thing to pinpoint, but do you have any moment that kind of stands out to you as, your biggest learning experience, something that you were like, all right, whether I guess even if it was in the ring for a fight or outside of it training or just something around, what stands out to you?
To be honest, I got knocked out on my second ever bare-knuckle fight in about 30 odd seconds. And it was to the point where I don't remember even getting knocked out. I was proper gone, left up, bang, clean on the floor. That really opened my eyes, that did. I've never been knocked out in my life like that. Like, that was something silly. Like, I was gone, got up, was stumbling all over the place. I didn't come round until they were actually announcing the winner of the fight. I remember looking at my coach and I went, what's happened? And he went, you've just been knocked out. And I was like, oh shit. The whole crowd's just looking at me. Yeah, it was horrible. That really, I suffered bad after that because obviously I was this young kid who didn't think he was ever going to lose, who'd just been absolutely sparked out cold. And I think that gave me the biggest wake-up call in my fighting career. And now I think the reason I'm so good now, the reason that I'm winning so many fights and, I'm stronger and I'm better is because I've took that negative and I've turned it into a positive and I've vowed that it will never happen again. And I think that's made me probably the best condition and best fighter I could ever be. I've never been in the conditions I have for these past 4 fights. I've been in phenomenal condition and my fitness, my strength, everything's improved. And I think that's because I've just looked back and I've thought, that ain't happening again. No one wants to be in that situation, and that was horrible.
Yeah. I mean, that sounds like a scary moment, man. So it's good that you were able to flip it that way rather than being like, all right, I'm done with this. That sucked. Just get out of there. Would you say that, it was something for you to where, I guess it's a common phrase that losses, you learn more from losses than wins. And in this case, that's a perfect example, right?
Yeah, I could say that. I mean, I went into that fight thinking that I absolutely dominated my first opponent in bare-knuckle to the point where I don't think I got hit. I destroyed him. And I mean, like, I'm not even bigging myself up here. After watching the performance back, I literally sat back watching it and was like, I'm going to absolutely piss this tournament. I'm going to beat everyone. And I think because I went in so overly confident and so ignorant to this guy, I learned my lesson hard. And I think that's taught me then never look past the opponent you're going to fight. So I'm glad that happened to me because that defined me. I would never have been world champion if it was for that. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So in a way, I'm glad it happened. You know, I wouldn't be defined to be the person I am now and as big as I am now if that didn't happen, I don't think. So, yeah, I do owe it to that knockout. So the guy who knocked me out, you...
owe him something. Some credit
Cheers,
there.
man. Thank you. Yeah.
Isn't that funny? Like, in hindsight, before that happened, you're like, oh, fuck that guy. No way. I don't want to get knocked out. But it turned out pretty good. So,
yeah, it has, yeah. Congratulate him.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, so I mean that leads to what's next, right, man? You're signed with Bare-Knuckle FC, right? Which is, you know, the American promotion over here, doing big things as best as they can. So do you have any idea in mind when, you know, you're kind of hoping to, or if you're in talks about when the next one will be? I'm not sure what their next show will be or anything like that, but anything you're working towards right now?
Yeah, we was looking at November the 6th, New York, Niagara Falls.
Okay.
But obviously with the vaccination traveling, you can't travel until after the 8th. Pushing it back now, so you've got 12th, which is in the I think the Jacksonville Center. I'm not sure, but in Florida. I've said let's give that a miss, and I think we're pushing now for the 3rd of December, which is New Mexico. If not, it will be Miami, Florida on the 10th of December. So it's either the 3rd or the 10th. We're just trying to weigh up the options is who I'm going to be fighting. It's probably going to be a co-main event because I'm the British world champion coming over. So I think we're looking at a co-main, looking at maybe a top 5, 165 pounder as well. And also I know that Diego Sanchez is headlining one of these cards. So a build up to fight maybe Diego Sanchez if he comes through and I'll come through, me and Diego fight maybe starting next year, which is what I need because I know that Diego's past it now and he'll get beat easy.
Yeah.
And I like Diego. He's a tough warrior and I respect him and stuff, but I'm just young and hungry and I'm coming up now, you know what I mean? I'm trying to earn the legacy and the glory that he's had. He's, you know what I mean? And that's why he's past it now. And that'll be perfect for me. Be a big win as well. It's a big name to beat.
Yeah. Couldn't go wrong with that. I mean, especially for would that be your debut in America or have you fought over here before?
No, it would be my debut. So my debut would be the first fight. And then the second fight, hopefully, would be, I'm calling out Diego either way if he wins.
Yeah.
So Diego's getting spanked. And
all right, very cool, man. I mean, is that exposure exciting to you though, to get obviously this stage of bare knuckle and just expand your brand and get people to know about you more and show the world how good you really are?
Yeah, of course. There's nothing that excites me more than knowing that I'm not only getting known in England now, I'm getting known in America. And then when you go to America, it's becoming more global. You know the size of how everything is in America. Combat sports ridiculous over there. It's the biggest pinnacle is in the USA. It's the pinnacle of the sport in America. So obviously to go over there, to be able to call out ex-legends like, Diego Sanchez. I know Mendes has just signed, Chad Mendes.
Right.
He's 155. I'm not going to rule out 155 fight because I know that I haven't even water dropped and I'm about 170 pound and I've got to be 165. So it's possible that I could make 155. So if Chad Mendes comes through and I'm flying and he's flying, maybe we could collide, you know what I mean? And that'll be another spanking for Chad as well. So
right. There you go.
There'll be too much UFC veterans getting spanked then in bare-knuckle. But yeah, it is what it is.
Yeah, see how it plays out, right, man? And it's funny mentioning all these names; those are definitely great ones. But I want to ask you because I noticed you've had like a little bit of an exchange recently with this Brandon Lambert fella. What's going on here with this back and forth?
So Brandon Lambert, Mallow, he's I think he's just a clout chaser. He's a really tall, 135 pounder that can fight up to like 165. I think it's about 6'2" is about my height. Nowhere near as big as built as me. And I think all Brandon is doing is Brandon's trying his hardest to be recognised, because it fell short for him, and all he's doing now is calling everyone out. And like, for me to go fight Brandon Lambert would be like, if I beat him and was like, oh yeah, well, you expected to beat him. If you lose, it's like, oh, you got beat by Brandon Lambert. Like, you shouldn't even. Do you know what I mean? So it's just, I don't really want to waste my time fighting people like that who are not really established in bare-knuckle. He's had one fight, he quit. He didn't give up. He didn't get knocked out. He quit. He went down and he lay there until he got counted out, and he got up and walked back to his stall. Anyone who gets up after that count and walks back to the stall is a quitter. You know what I mean? You're either down and out, or you're trying to get back up. If you're getting back up on wobbly legs, you know what I mean? You're a brave person. But if you're holding out and waiting for that count to go before you get back up and walk to your stall and it's over, then you're quitting. And if people don't like it, they can do one. I'm not bothered.
Yeah, there you go. Is the trash talk fun for you though, or is it like kind of annoying in these kind of cases?
No, I trash talk, but I'm very real. Like, I'm a real bloke. If I'm going to tell you something, that I'm an established fighter, do you know what I mean? So what's coming from me, it's not like it's brutal. It's not Chow Sonnen. Do you know what I mean? It's not like cringy trash talk. It's proper. You know, if I say that I'm going to come there, I'm going to jump over the press conference table and rip your skull off, I'm going to do it. Do you know what I mean? So don't push me.
That's a great line.
But, yeah. That's it exactly. Like, I don't sit there and say, oh yeah, and come out with these little cheesy quotations and like, oh yeah, and this and hey, you're dog shit and all that, mate. It's like, no, listen. If you want to carry on talking, I'll come over there, I'll rip your windpipe out and play the flute on it. How about that? Do you know what I mean? It's simple and it's devastating. And if you don't like it, I'm going to do it in the ring either way. So who cares?
Yeah, totally, man. That's
yeah,
brilliant stuff right there. I like the line of thought. So that definitely does sound like more fun than annoying. Got to have fun with it in general, right? Make it fun if it's not fun in the first place. But all right, man. It's been great, Connor. I want to leave you with one last thing though before we wrap up, man. You know, can talk about fighting all day and everything, which, you know, that's the thing that you're known for, right? But I'm curious, outside of fighting and all that stuff, do you have other things you like to do? Obviously a football guy, but any other hobbies you have or things like that? Big into music, you tell me.
Yeah, going to watch Birmingham City, obviously, but I actually love fishing.
Okay.
Yeah. I go fishing a lot, and then to be fair, like it made me think, am I the only? And then I see Terence Crawford and Lomachenko like fishing, so I'm like, oh yeah, obviously the best fighters in the world like fishing. Obviously that makes sense.
That's funny. Yeah, I love fishing too.
Yeah, that's me. Yeah, that's me.
Cool, man. Do you have a biggest catch you can remember?
31-pound mirror carp. I carp fishing at orders. Yeah, so like literally, what I love about going fishing now, I switch off from everything. Like there's no boxing, there's no girlfriend talk, there's no kids. It's me, and I'm focused on me throughout the whole session, and that's what I like. Sort of get away.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah, can't beat it. Definitely good stuff there. So, and a good catch there as well. So, very nice, man. Beat mine. All right, Connor, we can leave it there, man. Don't want to take too much of your time. Surely it's late over there. My time zones are all mixed up, but appreciate you, man. Yeah. So I'll let you get on with it.
Thank you.
And look forward to seeing what's next for you. Hopefully you get both of those guys, Mendes and Sanchez. I think great introductions, obviously, and I think you do pretty well. Brilliant. So, all right, man. I'll look forward to it and wish you all the best. Take care, man. Thank you so much.
Man. Thank you. Maybe see you later.
Oh, hey, you made it to the end. Thanks for watching. Really appreciate it. If you like this video and want to see more like it, give it a like and maybe subscribe if you haven't already. Until then, we'll see you next time.